Assalamu alaikum. So the lesson today is about quadratic equations. So we are going to learn today how to solve quadratic equations using complete the square method. So this is what we are going to do today is complete the square method. So this method involves uh, two properties. So those properties are the following. So if I have x plus a square, so is x squared plus 2xa plus a square, and if I have x minus a square is x squared minus 2xa plus a square. So we are going to use one of those two property, which is depend on the question that we have. Alright, so if it was asked to solve ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 using uh, complete the square. So first thing, so this is for your check first, find the discriminant. Find the discriminant, which is d equal b squared minus 4ac, because the discriminant will tell you what type of solution you will end up with. If you have a solution or you don't have, if you have one solution or two distinct solution. So it will tell you what your answer should be at the end if you wanna use complete the square. All right, the second steps. So this is how we use the complete the square. So what do we have? We have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Okay, first thing, so what we do, we minus c both sides. So let me use different color for that steps. So minus c both sides. So you will end up having ax squared plus bx equal minus c. The second steps, what you do, you divide by a all the terms and the other side of the equal sign. So you end up having x squared plus b over a x equal minus c over a. Then what you do, you multiply a by 2 and multiply in front of b by 2. So here what we did, we create, you see, first thing we divide by a because we want to create x squared. Second thing, I multiply here by 2 and divide here by 2 because I create these two. Then look what we have. We have 2, 2. The a here is b over 2a, and we have x. So that's what we did. So if you don't want to get confused, so I can switch those two because it's the same thing. So I can say 2ax, 2ax is the same idea. You see, this is my a. You see, this one is my capital A, and this is my x. You see now, what's missing is a square, which is that terms square. So let me put a line here, because you see the steps on the same board. So I have here now x squared plus 2 times b over 2ax, and I put space here, so I'm gonna put plus, and here will be minus c over a. Now you see what I need a square, and you know that this is my a, this is my big a. And if I have equal sign, if I add something in one side, I need to add the same thing on the other side to keep the equality true, to keep the equality true. So what I do, I will add b over 2a square both sides. As you see here, is the same thing as, look at this, we have x squared plus 2 times a x plus, you see this is the a is a square. So if I have this expression, I can transform it to this exponent or power notation. You see, if I have this expression, I can transform it to power notation. So which means I can transform this to this notation. So it's going to be x plus a, which is that one, and I put square, and this will be equal to minus c over a plus b square over 4a square. So I can make a common denominator. So here I will end up having minus 4ac plus b square over 4a square. Why? Because the common factor here is 4a square. So what I do here, I just multiply both sides by 4a. You see, I will end up having 4a square. So this is minus c because it's the minus for the c. So we have 4a times minus c is minus 4ac plus b square. And if I switch those two because addition is commutative, look what do we have? We have b square minus 4ac because when I commute, we move the number with the sign. So I'm going to move the whole number and switch it. So here you have 4ac, 4a square. And you see this is the discriminant. Remember I told you at the beginning, find the discriminant because at the beginning you know if that number is going to be positive or negative. So this what you will end up after you took the perfect square. Now we know ahead that square is always positive. We know that 4a squared is positive because a squared is positive and 4 is positive, so we don't worry about that. So we worry about only the expression that has a minus sign. If it has a minus sign, that means it may be positive, may be negative. This is why here we discuss. So if this is negative, so I mean the whole thing will be negative and cannot be equal to positive, which means there is no solution here, no real solution. If it's equal to 0, so you make the square equal to 0 and the answer will be only that number in the positive sign. If it's positive, then you know that we have two distinct solution. So that's the case. So let me do the first case. So if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0. So which means no solution. No, then no resolution. And if b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0, then you will end up having x plus b over 2a squared equals 0, which means x plus b over 2a equals 0. You just need to subtract minus b over 2a both sides, minus b over 2a, and you will end up having x equal minus b over 2a, and this will be your solution, minus b 2a. And if b square, so this is the third case, this is the second, minus 4ac is greater than 0, then you take the square root both sides, so you will end up having x plus b over 2a square equal b square minus 4ac over 2 over 4a square, So what you do next, you take the square root on both sides. So you end up having plus or minus here. And here you will end up having x plus b over 2a equal plus or minus, and we have the square root of 4a squared is just 2a, so we end up having the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we're looking for x, so we minus b over 2a both sides. So we will end up having at the end two distinct solutions. So we have x equal minus b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So they are common denominator, we can combine the common denominator. So my solution will be minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac rotating over 2a. So those are the two type of solution we have if it's positive. So let's do an example. So in that case, you will see how it's work with number. So let's do an example. Suppose I want to solve these equations using complete the square. So 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equals 0. So if you have number here, try to move all the x in one side. Move the constant coefficient on the other side. So keep all the x and their coefficient in one side, and the constant coefficient always keep it on the other side. So this is the steps we need to do first. So now let me check by discriminant just for me. So I know that it's b squared minus 4 times 2 times 5, which is c. So it's going to be 9 minus 40, which is going to be minus 31. So it's negative, doesn't mean I don't have a real solution. But let me show you. You see, I know at the end that I will not have, but I need to show my step to my professor or my teacher that this is how I conclude after I got the complete square. So here what I do, so I start with 2x squared plus 3x plus 5 equals 0. So I follow the same steps we did earlier. So first thing what we do, we minus 5. So I got 2x squared plus 3x equal minus 5. Now we divide the whole thing by 2. So what I will get, I'll get x squared plus 3 half x equal minus 5 half. Now remember, I multiply here by 2 and I put here to here. So now I will end up having what here? X squared plus 2 times 3 over 4x equal minus 5 half. See, if you multiply by 2 and divide by 2, it's like you multiply by 1. I just use the concept that 1 is 2 over 2 because I need to appear here to know what is my a. So my a now is this. So what I need to do here, I need to add a square both sides. So it's going to be 3 over 4 square plus 3 over 4 square. So now what do we have? We have x squared plus 2 times ax plus a squared. So this is the same thing as x plus 3 over 4 square. And here what I do, I simplify my expression. So it's going to be minus 5 over 2 plus 9 over 16. So my common denominator is 16. So I have x plus 3 over 4 square equal minus 40 because the common is 16, so I'm multiply both sides by 8 plus 9 over 16, so which is going to give me the discriminant, which is minus 31 over 16. So this is positive, This is negative, so positive cannot be equal to negative number. So just say no real solution. So if you start with no solution and you end up here having a positive, so that means you make a mistake on your calculation. So go back and check your work. This is why I prefer always to check, then I do my work. So at least I know what I should end up with. And if I didn't end up with the same thing that I find out at the beginning, that means I make a mistake on my calculation. So I go back and I check my work. So let's do another example. Suppose I want to do that question. So now 3x squared minus 24x plus 48 equals 0. So like I say first, my discriminant 24 squared minus 4 times 3 times 48. So which is 576 minus 576. And this is 0. So which means I have only one solution. See, doesn't mean at the end I will end up having only one solution. So what I do first, so let me do my steps again with the complete square equals 0 minus 48 both sides. So I got 3x squared minus 24x equal minus 48. Now we divide everything by 3. So we end up having x squared minus 8x equal minus 16. Now I have 8 here, so what I do here, I divide by 2 and time by 2. So which I will end up having x squared minus 2 times 8 divided by 2 is 4x plus equal minus 16. So now I know what is my a. You see this is 2ax, so a is 4. So I will add 4 squared both sides. So in that case I will end up having x squared minus 2 times 4x plus 16, or I prefer to keep 4 squared, so it's not gonna hurt. And here I will have 16 minus 16 plus 16. So here is my perfect square. So it's going to be, you see here is a minus. So we know that x minus x squared minus 2ax plus a squared is x minus a squared. So here it's become x minus a, which is 4 square, and this is equal to 0. So here, if it's equal to 0, so which means that x minus 4 equal to 0. If something square equals 0, that means the number itself is 0. So I make this one equal 0. So I add 4 both sides. So x will be equal to 4 and my solution will be just 4. So let's do another example. So suppose I want to solve for 2x squared minus 14x plus 10 equal 0. So like I said at the beginning, I need to find out my discriminant. So is minus 14 square minus 4 times 2 times 10. So which will be 196 minus 18, which is 116. It's greater than 0, but it's not a perfect square. So I know that I have two distinct solutions. So So what I do now, I start doing the steps we did at the beginning. So minus 10 both side. So we end up having 2x squared minus 14x equal minus 10. Now I divide both sides by 2. So we'll end up having x squared minus 7x equal minus 5. Now you see here I divide by 2, I multiply by 2. So we will end up having x squared minus 2 times 7 over 2x equal minus 5. Now what I do next, I add a square both sides, so 7 over 2 square. Now I got my perfect square, so this is minus, so that means I will end up having x minus 7 over 2 square equal 5 minus 49 over 4. This is plus, this is minus 5. So here, like I said, I use this property, x squared minus 2ax plus a square is x minus a square. Alright, next, so what do we have? Let me make common denominator here, see if I have a positive answer. So here we have minus 20 plus 49 over 4, which is 29 over 4, and this is positive, so which means that I have two solutions. So now I have x minus 7 half square equal 29 over 4. So I take square root outside. So I took square root with the number, I put plus or minus here because this will be cancelled out with the absolute value, but the plus and minus will cover all the both cases. So here we end up having x minus 7 half equal plus or minus square root of 29 over 2, because this is the same thing as square root of 29 over square root of 4, which is here just 2. So you can skip that steps if you know the property of the root. Now I need to solve for x, so what I do, I add 7 half both sides. So my answer will be x equal 7 half, and this is a common denominator, so I can put only one line, so plus or minus square root of 29. So this is my solution, so I can put the solution either in one form or I can put it in two form, like 7 plus square root of 29 over 2, 7 minus square root of 29 over 2. So this is the idea how to solve quadratic equations using complete the square method. So I hope you understand the main concept and the property needed to use that method. So please, if you have any comment that will help me improve my way of teaching, do so. And thank you for watching the video. Assalamu alaikum.